Hey guys, Empire Construction Equipment again. Matt here. I just wanted to take you around the new mini skid steer we have. Obviously, this is probably a machine you guys have seen numerous times, V1000. You can see it from different manufacturers listed as different model numbers. Ours is also a V1000, but a better V1000 in my opinion. There's not a lot that you need to change on this machine. It's engineered well. It's a really stout machine, all heavy steel. You know, everything's welded really well. There's not a lot of options or things to finagle with in terms of things I would want to change. But there is one big thing that I wanted to change on this machine, and that is a bigger engine. This machine here has a Kubota 1105, so not the typical 902 Kubota engine that you're going to see in 99.9%. I'd venture to guess this is probably the only V1000 in the United States with the Kubota 1105 engine. What that means is that you're going to have much more torque. I think it's about 11 foot-pounds more torque to keep those pumps running, make sure you're not bogging down the machine. This is a machine that's designed to do some serious work, not like the smaller gas skid steers. Not that those are bad machines either. You know, you just have to have reasonable expectations. In my opinion, this is every bit as good as, you know, the Bobcat or version or the SEL 1000 or other name brand manufacturers. This machine doesn't have a whole bunch of bells and whistles and digital display and those kind of things, but in my personal opinion, that's an advantage. I don't want those extra complexities for cost of ownership reasons, right? Over the years, if I'm going to have this machine for years, and this is definitely the type of machine that you can own for years and years and years and get lots and lots of use out of this machine, I want to make sure that when I'm bringing these in, that they're going to have adequate power for the type of work that you guys are doing. And I believe the 1105 Kubota engine makes that a little bit more possible and makes it a cut above some of the other people that are selling the V1000. So Kubota 1105, and then pretty much everything else that you're typically used to on the V1000s if you've seen any of the videos. We'll take a quick walk around the machine. Obviously, you know V1000, if you're familiar with them at all, is going to have that vertical lift function where the edge of the blade is going to stay vertical all the way up, and that's due to the geometry of the boom arms and this extra bar here that'll end up pulling the boom out as it goes up, so that way you don't get that radius effect. One other thing, small little detail, but I think it's, you know, I'm more of a person about functionality rather than, you know, aesthetics or those kind of things. Most of the other V1000s that you see on the market, you know, they have a little bit more ventilation over here. Doesn't, you know, it's more aesthetic purposes, I believe. But the headlight is recessed into the hood. Now, the problem I've seen on the V1000 is if you're actually ever, you know, working around dusk or nighttime, you know, the headlight is basically not getting to where you need it to be. You know, the light's not shining in front of the bucket. Being that this headlight is up, yeah, maybe not as sleek looking as the other model, but has the light in the appropriate spot, so it's actually functioning correctly. There's no use in me shining the light 30 feet away. I need to see what the bucket is doing and where I'm traveling. So little detail, but I think little things like that are important. This model here also has the hydraulic tank and the fuel tank access right here in the front. Also has this grating in the front too, which I really like, instead of the slats. And then all the typical features that, you know, the updated track design, the counterweights, and, you know, everything else is pretty much what you typically know from the V1000. You know, for me, like I said, it's about the functionality of the machine. Is it going to do the job? For me, the headlight and the 1105 Kubota engine, setting it apart, I think makes a big difference. Now, you know, I just want to reference this about the V1000 because it is a pretty popular machine in the United States. You know, I know that there is a manufacturer that claims they make the V1000, and, you know, at the end of the day, you know, this is an imported machine. There's various manufacturers that make V1000s or very similar machines based on those engineering plans. And, you know, So yeah, they're not the only manufacturer. This is not from the same manufacturer, which is why I can spec it with the Kubota 1105. Does it have the same piston pump? Does it have the same arm geometry? Does it have all those things? Yes, it does. So yeah, has the piston pump, you know, and everything's basically in what you would expect the same spots to be, but just a cut above with the bigger engine, a little bit more torque, you know, a little bit more torque, headlight, little basic things like that. Otherwise not, it's pretty much the standard V1000. Of course, the Kubota engine does, you know, the little bit bigger Kubota engine adds a little bit more cost to the machine, but when you're at this price point, I think a little bit more cost to go up to the Kubota 1105, I think that's, you know, money well spent in my opinion. So this is the V1000, a better version of the V1000 in my opinion, with that bigger motor to be able to get more work done. And this is something I'm going to be stocking on a regular basis with that engine all the time. So won't be a Perkins model that I'll stock. I'll just stock the Kubota 1105. I feel like that's a better engine platform to run. But yeah, if you want to reach out to us, we're Empire Construction Equipment. You can find our website, empireconstructionequipment.com. You can check us out there. Also too, I just want to mention this, you know, if you need parts, if you need parts for any machine, I'm not talking about just machines that you've bought from me, any machine that you found on the market, auction machine, whatever. I know sometimes people have a real hard time finding some parts. You know, I want to be that resource for you. If I can't find it in the United States, and point you in that direction, because if it's local, you know, I'll just point you in the right direction. If it's something I can't find in the United States, then I'll just talk to the manufacturers directly and I'll get the part for you. So that is a service that we do. I send parts all over the United States. I could ship them directly to you. Obviously, it's got to come through customs now, so it slows down a little bit the process, and it has to come to me first, and then I can send it out to you, which does add a little bit of cost. But most of these parts, you know, on most of these machines, you know, are not that expensive. So, you know, most of these imported machines, they're relatively easy to maintain and relatively inexpensive to maintain, no matter what machine you got. But you know, it could be expensive if you spend countless hours looking for parts that you don't know where to find them. So that's, your time is actually money too, I think. So, you know, give us a call if you have a part that you need that you're not able to find. I'll do whatever I can to help you out. There hasn't been a part yet that I haven't been able to find that I can recall anyway, but I'll help you out and I'll get you the part. V1000 on our website, should be posted within a couple days. The better version of the V1000, I'll say. But thanks for your time, guys. Talk to you guys soon.